Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am very excited to share this video with you. Let's get straight to it. I am no longer working for corporate America and I am a full-time entrepreneur, mompreneur, and I could not be any happier about being able to do this in 2020. So I'm going to take you back to how all of this came about and basically how the plan that I had for it didn't actually go the way that I planned it, but it happened in a way that I know that this is what God had truly manifested for me at this point in my life. So let's go back to end of 2018, because the end of 2018 is when I really started feeling like this is something that I wanted to do full time and something that I needed to do full time. So if most of you don't know, I started my business back in 2015. It started out mainly as an event design business. I wanted to do event design and event planning. It has grown into more like interior decorating, but for the most part of what I do is mostly event stuff, and I don't get to share a lot of that with you all on this channel, which I plan to do more of this year. But that is a big part of what I do. So I have an undergraduate degree in accounting. I went to school to get my master's in business administration. So basically I have 6 years of education, and I've been working in the accounting field since I pretty much graduated from college. I'm trying to give you guys like a really good timeline. So starting from 2016 up until 2019, I feel like my business has been gradually growing, but it was last year when I really started to feel that, and I kind of was pressed up against the wall where I had to make a decision. I was either going to continue to work full time, or I was going to have to let some part of my business go because it had become too much. I was doing a lot. I was really juggling a lot last year. I spent all of my days working full time, getting up early in the morning. I would not get home most days until about 7 o'clock. And then I'm also a single mom, so I had to make sure that everything was taken care of for Jalen. And then I would go straight into my workshop, and I would be up working until the wee hours of the night, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, especially when it's like really busy season. And then back up again at 7 o'clock. It was a lot. It was really a lot going on. And it became to a point of like I had become so overwhelmed, so it was like, okay, something is gonna have to give. But I wasn't quite there yet. I wasn't quite ready to let go of the stability that I had with my full-time job, because you know, we all grow up with, you grow up, you go to college, you get your degree, you get a job, you have your benefits, you have your insurance, you have everything, you have a stable income check and all of that. But in reality, you know, sometimes things don't play out that way. And for me, I feel like it had gotten to a point where I would need to come and pick up Jalen from practice, but I could not leave my job until 4 o'clock. So my baby would be basically waiting on me for like an hour and a half after school on those practice days until I could get her from practice. I absolutely hated it. I hated it. But you know, hey, that was my job and that is what I had to do. All while I was still feeling like, you know, I have grown my business to a point where I can do this by myself. I can do this without working full time, but I just did not have the strength to actually walk away and let go at that moment. Now, if you go back to, if we go back to the end of 2018, which is where I think I started in the beginning of this video. If you go back to the end of 2018, I think the biggest thing that made me realize that I had to leave my job was, it was around the holidays, and ever since I was little, I have not missed a day. Oh my gosh, I'm like getting emotional. Wow. Girl, get it together. All right. So end of 2018, like I was saying before, I really started to get emotional. I've never missed a Christmas back home with my family in Mississippi, like never ever. It's always been something that I've always been able to do. I think when I first started this job, Christmas happened to be landing across the weekends and the beginning of the week. This time Christmas fell in the middle of the week, and I could not go home. The job that I did, I was doing payroll accounting at that time, so I couldn't miss work, and it bugged me so bad because I was like, wow. I remember crying one night because my granddad is older now. So my granddad, he's older now. Like I was saying, I remember crying one night, and this was mainly because I was like, yo, like, what if this is the last, like, what if I don't get another Christmas with him? Like, what if, it was basically like, what if I'm pouring so much of myself into this job that I am not even able to spend the time that I want to spend with my family and that I need to spend with my family? Like, what if I'm pouring so much of myself into this job that's taking up so much of my time and my life? I'm not really getting anything in return from it aside from a stable paycheck, because we didn't get a lot of vacation days off at all. When I say none, I mean you literally stayed in the negative on your accruals if you took any time off. It was just, I don't know. And I remember saying, you know, like, I don't, you know, what if something was to happen to him? What if next Christmas I don't get that opportunity, but, you know, I can't even be there with my family? I've never spent a Christmas away from my family, you know what I mean? And that right there was like a big factor. It became a point of where I'm like, okay, I'm investing so much of myself into this company, and then I have my own side business that I'm running, and then there are certain times and things that I'm not even able to fulfill in my family. Like, I'm not able to, you know, do certain things. I'm not able to go home. I'm not able to be there to pick up my daughter on time from practice. You know, I'm not able to, you know, I'm not even feeling comfortable about taking days or the time away from work to take my daughter to an appointment and stuff like that. So it became a lot. It was very, very, very overwhelming for me. And so at that point I decided, you know what, I'm going to save up this amount of money and I'm gonna leave. My business was at a point where like I said, I was basically spending all my free time doing the business, and then the other time I was working. So something was going to have to give. So I started to put a plan in action, and I said, you know what, in 2019, I think I had set the date of like March. I was like, I want to save this amount of money, and then I'm going to quit. And what happened was I reached my goal. I did save that amount of money, but I didn't quit. I think I was fearful of still losing that stability, because it's like, okay, I jump out here. It's all on me. I don't have any, it's all on me. I have to make the financial income happen. I have to take care of everything. And I knew that I could, because I knew where my business was, and I knew that if I knew that the time that I was putting into my full-time job, if I actually had invested that time in my own business, I knew that I would be okay, and I would be able to financially take care of everything and still have the time that I needed to basically be there for my daughter and be there for my family. So like I said, I still didn't quit. I think it's something in me because of I grew up with, you know, the job. You need the job. The job is security. You know what I mean? Entrepreneurship is cool, but at the same time, you still have that voice in the back of your head, you know, from what you've been taught, that your job is your security. Your job is your benefits. You know what I mean? So after March, I decided I kept extending the date. I don't know why it was like a quarterly thing. I was like, okay, well, when Jalen gets ready to get out of school for the summer, then I'll quit and I can have the summers off with her. And the summer came. Of course, I had saved up more money and I did not quit still. it was like I just kept prolonging it and just kept dragging it out. And at that point, I know that I had already mentally checked out of my full-time job. I had already mentally quit in my head. I just hadn't taken the step to physically do it. And I wish that in that moment of when I had mentally checked out, I had quit. In July of 2019, I decided to add on the balloon decorating part of my business. So it's like, okay, well, now I'm gonna have the balloons. You know, I do my card boxes and the graduation and the bridal stuff beginning part of the year, and then I'm gonna add on the balloons. So then the balloon thing, I had a few balloon gigs in July, and that started doing really, really well. End of July, I said, okay, I had this date in my mind. I was like, I'm really going to do it now. Like, when September comes, I am out. That is my final deadline, and I'm leaving because I want to take the rest of the year to have I want to take some of the time off to be able to, you know, go home for the holidays, spend more time with my family, and grow my business and get it to a point where in 2020 it can just really start to, you know, continue to manifest. Lo and behold, I get laid off at the end of in July, August. I think it was August. I get laid off. And the craziest thing about it is that I didn't feel scared. I wasn't sad. I was happy. When I say I was like, I felt like this weight had been lifted up off of me. I felt relieved. I felt like it was meant to happen. And I was smiling. That's crazy. Because I had already planned for it. I had already prepared for it. It wasn't like some spur of the moment thing that it just happened like, oh, well, I just started a business, I'm going to quit my job. I've been doing this since 2015. If you pay attention to some of the things that I was saying in previous videos, you would hear me talk about, I think it was my self-care video. It's like, okay, hey, I'm going to either have to, I'm not going to start working and building my empire to continue to build their empire. So I have to kind of figure out what's going to be best for me. And then I believe in another video when I was doing my office, which me planning and preparing to work full-time from home is why I created the office, because I knew I needed a good workspace to work from. So I had already been planning and preparing for it. And the only thing that I could think of that day when I ended up getting laid off was like, hey, you beat me to it. Like, I was about to quit. Like, you stole my I quit my job moment from me. That's the only thing that I can honestly think of, guys. Honestly, like, it was like I was about to quit. Like, I was about to quit. And like I said, I wish I had done it prior to that, but I feel like that happening was God's way of making the decision for me. I feel like God kind of stepped in and was like, hey, you know what you need to do. You know that you're going to be fine. You're still acting scared to do it. You just need to hop on out there. So guess what? I'm going to do it for you. And when that happened, you guys, when I say the floodgates opened up with so many opportunities, so many projects, I cannot even express how grateful I am for the fact of that when that happened, God opened so many doors for me, and I've been so busy. The misconception, I think, is that after I was going to leave my full-time job, I was going to have all this extra time. But honestly, I do have the time to, and I can make my own schedule, but I've had so many things going on in my business and so many opportunities that it's actually making me busy in my own business. But I'm okay with it. I wake up every day for myself. You know, I wake up every day knowing what I have on my schedule. I'm able to pick Jalen up from school on time. I'm able to be there for everything. You know, I'm able to have food ready for her when she gets home. You know, it's just so much better for me being able to be here. This was the first year in about 3 years that I was able to go home for Christmas and actually be there for a whole week. just a whole week with my family, enjoying my family time. When my mom came out here in November, this was the first time that I was able to be off the entire week with her for Thanksgiving, enjoying that week. Go Black Friday shopping. I have not been able to do that in years. So I am really, really enjoying the time that it's allowing me to be with my family and to be a part of my family, you know? So in a nutshell, this has been the best thing that could have happened to me, especially at this point. I'm so happy. I'm so blessed. I'm so hopeful and looking forward to 2020 and just continuing to grow my business itself. I'm really enjoying doing what I'm doing full time now. I did go to school for accounting and I do have my MBA, you know, and I have over 12 years of experience in the accounting field. I do still love accounting. I don't think that I fully want to give it up. Like, I can see myself doing something part-time. I honestly can see myself, like, you know, helping, you know, someone else in their business out by keeping, you know, the books, doing the financials. I have to do that for myself, so it kind of keeps me from getting rusty with it, and I never want to lose that knowledge because it is something that I do enjoy. It's just that I enjoy doing events and interiors even more. That's my passion. Oh my gosh, that is just something that I love. And granted, it is a lot of work. It's not like something easy. It is a lot of work, a lot of back end stuff that I don't share. It's a lot, but I think the great thing about when you do it is that when that final project comes together, it's like this feeling of like, oh, it's just like this really feeling of excitement. I am still learning things as I go along. I am not a vet by any means necessary. I have just thankfully been blessed to be able to get to a point where I can do this full time. And I want to share that with you. I want to share the journey with you. I want to share a lot of the things that I have learned along the way, mistakes that I've made. I want to share, you know, how I basically planned and prepared, you know, for this and everything. Even though the plan that I had for how it to happen wasn't the way that it happened, I feel like it happened in God's plan. And to me, that just was confirmation that I was headed in the right direction and that I am doing what I am supposed to be doing in my life right now. So I'm definitely going to be sharing a lot more of that with you guys this year. You're going to see a lot more of day-to-day processes, projects. I have a lot of projects that I want to share with you guys that I was working on towards the end of last year. So the biggest thing that I want to say and that I would hope that you will take away from this video is that I know it can be scary if you have your own business and you're kind of trying to figure out, do I do this full time, you know, or whatever. But the biggest thing that I think I've learned from this is that God is not going to put any more on you than you can bear. So I look at it like I was already to my maximum on time. I was on my maximum when it came to my full-time job, and I was on my maximum when I was working on my side hustle, on my side business, because like I said, evenings to the wee hours of the night, I'm doing this. So I'm already at a capacity. So if I'm scared about what my future income is going to look like, God wasn't going to put anything else on me, I feel like, in that moment until I freed up that space to where he could allow that door to open and give me all of those opportunities and all of the projects and the new clients and customers and things that I have now. So sometimes that door has to be closed. That basket has to be emptied so that you can flip it over and receive more blessings. That's the best way that I can put it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I really just wanted to be very transparent and really just share with you everything that had been transpiring over the past year. 2019 was really a year, I feel, of growth, of challenge, and faith. So 2020 is going to be great, and I'm going to share it all with you guys. I do want to do more videos, kind of giving more insight on certain things, you know, maybe if you're interested in how I did plan and prepare and things like that, so that when I quit, which didn't happen. But even in the sense of getting laid off, I was ready. I was ready. It was already planned. It wasn't a spur of the moment thing. So yeah guys, love you all. Thanks so much for watching. If you're still watching to the end, I hope this video isn't like extremely long when I get ready to edit it, but I had to basically share with you everything that I was feeling regarding this topic, you know what I mean? So I will see you guys in my next video. Love you guys again. Bye Daisies. Thanks so much for watching.